Hello guys, this is me Saif. Welcome back with a new lesson. Today we are going to start tables in HTML. Many people are confused and they are facing problem in creating tables in HTML. So today we are here for you to teach you that table is not difficult, it's very easy. A few people try to understand it, so we are here to teach you in a easy way that you can learn it very easily. So in HTML, how to create tables, and one thing I would like to tell you that it is very important nowadays, because everywhere we see tables when we want to display or data. So we would like to show that data in table form. So for that purpose, it is, I think, very important, so we should learn it. So do not skip the video and watch till the end, and in this lesson and this single video you will be able to learn after watching this, and you will be able to create tables in HTML. The first thing we have basic table structure. So all we know that today is our fifth class, I think. So all we know that in HTML we write everything, and tags are in element inside element. So also here is the same thing. We write thing inside table. Sorry, tags are element. So the tags and elements here are table, tr, td, and so on. So let me open my VS Code and generate a table by using table tag. And another tag or element I'm going to use is which we have tr tag. And inside tr we will use td tag. This is our main table tag, outer table tag, and the tr is table row, and td is used for table data. So inside the td we will write our data which we want to display in the table form. So let me write here inside the td I am writing Sunday, and let me create another tr here. This is one row. I'm creating another row. tr used for table row, and inside tr I will create another td table data td, and inside td I have Monday. So let's see on the browser. Let me open the folder. open my index file, and yes, you can see it or data on the screen. So let me zoom it that you can see it clearly. Sunday and Monday. One thing, the first thing we have Sunday, and the other thing we have in TD is Monday. So let me copy this code I hope you understand the syntax of how to write or how to create table in HTML. So I'm just pasting that code over here. So here we have table tag, inside that we have 3 tr tags, and inside tr tags we have 3 td tags in each tr tag. And I have written some number inside that. So let me refresh the page and see, yes, this is our table. We have 3 number, 3 td and 1 row, and you can see here on the screen we have 3 number and 1 row. Another inside another tr we have 3 number and 1 row, and the third and last one tr we have 3 number and 1 row. This is our first row, this is our second row, and this is our third row. So you can see it on the screen. This is first row, first tr, and this is our second tr, and this is our last and third tr. Table tr td we have code, and th. Another thing we have in table is th, table heading. So if we want to write some heading, so we can use table heading th. So I can write, so let me copy this code and paste over here. Let me comment this one. Look at the code. We have one table, inside that we have 1, 2 and 3 tr, and inside the tr we have th, 3 th in each tr. The first th we have put over here as empty heading. We didn't write anything inside the first th. And another new thing here is scope attribute. Scope attribute used for when we want to use or specify some heading. So we use scope attribute. Inside the scope attribute we write value for if we want to write the th for column, so we use the value col. And if we want to write the th for column, sorry, for row, so we use, and this attribute, the value of this attribute should be row. So not to confuse, and this adjust an attribute used for specifying column or row. This heading will be specified to a row, and this one, these two should be specified to a column. Let's see on the screen on the browser, refresh our page. Yes, you will understand it very clear over here. So the first th is, I have already told you that the first th is empty. We didn't write anything inside the first th, so you can see over here our first th is empty. In another th in the first row we have Saturday and Sunday, and we have written an attribute over here which is column, which is scope, and its value is column, applied to both of these th. So our heading is applied to column. Here you can see it's applied column wise. This is second column, the first column is empty and the first row, and the second column heading is Saturday, and the third column heading is Sunday. And another tr row we have one th which is take it solve, and we have applied one attribute which value is row, so this should be applied as row wise, and the third one is the same as the second row. Another thing we have here is spanning column. The column span attribute can be used on th or td. Keep it in mind, we can use only on th and td the span, call span attribute. So remember this thing. Sometime we apply it to t or something else, so that's not work because of this attribute only work on th and td. The call span attribute can be used on a th or td element and indicates how many columns that cell should run across. So let me copy this code and paste over here. Let's see, we have the same thing. This is our table. This is first tr. Inside that we have some th, and this is our second tr. Inside that we have some th, td, and this is our last and third tr. Inside that we have 3 th, sorry, 1 th and 2 td. So the first one is simple, there is no spanning applied to this one. And the second one, you can see we have one heading, one th tag and 3 td tags. But in the first td tag we can see that call span have been applied to this one. So it's mean that this thing will code 2 columns. This word should be written in 2 columns, that will cover the space of 2 columns. And the third tr we have td, which call span value is 3. So this will code 3 columns. Call span is an attribute and this is its value. If we want to write something and we want to write that in 2 columns, 3 columns or 4 columns, as so on, so according to our desire or need, we can change the value. So let's see and refresh our page. You can see our first row and first column is empty over here. Our first th is empty, and we have applied call span where call span we have applied to this one, geography, and you can see this is our first column, this is our second column, and this geography covered 2 columns. This is first one, sorry, this is the first one and this is the second one, and under that we have put geography, which covered these 2 columns at a time, just because of we have used over here call span and its value is 2. And another thing we have over here is and the last tr, which is td, call span is 3. So let me show you that it is our first column, this is second column, and this is our third column. And gem I have applied to this word that it should cover 3 columns at a time. So you can see on the screen that it covered 3 columns from here to this. This is our 3 column, and our gem covered these 3 columns because other space is empty. Spanning row. So as we have call span, so like that we have row span. So let me replace the col span by rho span. I'm just replacing col span by rho span. What it will do, it will cover two rows. Col span cover two columns or columns, so row span will do the same, but it will cover row wise. So it will cover row wise, it will place in a row. So let me refresh the page and see the changes. You can see that or this geography covered two rows, the first one and the second one. Now you cannot see the change exactly because there is no background color over here. So when we apply background color, so you will see the change. Let me copy this code and paste over here, then you might see the change clearly. Let me refresh the page and you can see over here this is, let me show you where we have applied row span. Row span we have applied over here to movie, and it have covered two rows. This is one and this is the upper one is two. So it have covered two rows at a time. Let me apply color to it, that you can see the change easily. Yes, you can see this is first row, sorry, this is our first heading row, this is our second row, and this is our third row. So this movie word have covered two rows at a time, the first and second one, sorry, the second and third one. It have covered these two rows at a time, just because of we have applied over here row span 2. If I change this value to 3, so let's see what happened. We have only two rows over here, so it's not increased. If we have some other rows, let me increase the number of rows and then see the change. I have three rows, Let me increase one row tr and then see the change. You can see we have 3 rows and it covered 3 rows at a time because I have applied over here row span and its value as 3. Long tables, T hat, T body, T foot, it's the same. If we want and we are having some long table, so it is just to specify the things. For that we use tags, different tags for heading, for body and for footer. Width and spacing, it is not used in HTML now, it's old coding. Now it's covered by CSS because it's easy to use CSS and cover the spacing and width of a table as compared to this HTML coding to write inside the HTML. So we can use width, cell padding and cell spacing and table. So let me copy this entire code and paste in or VS Code. Let me comment this one and paste the new one over here. First let me remove this width and cell padding and cell spacing and see how our table looks like. This is our sample table. So now let me apply the width to our table. I'm removing the cell padding and cell spacing that you can understand it clearly. Now our our width have been applied to our table 400 and let me apply cell padding to my table. Cell padding is used for when we want to create some or generate some space between the cells of our table, so we use cell padding for that. And another thing we have here is cell spacing. Cell spacing is used for when we want to generate some space between the table border and table cells. So we use cell spacing for that. Let me refresh the page. Yes, you can see the change. Let me apply some background color to my table BG. It's not working over here, so let me apply it to TH BG color so it will be red. applying some background color which is green. So let me refresh the page and see the change. Why the background color is not working on table? PG. Background color is gray. Let me refresh the page and you can see the background color as well. So now let me change the cell padding that you can see the change. For you can see the overall width of you can see the cell padding. I have already told you that it used for creating the space between the cells, and cell spacing is used for creating space between the cells. What we are having is the opening table tag could also use the cell padding attribute and space inside each cells of the table. The cell padding attribute to add space inside each cell. Cell padding is used for creating space between each cells, and cell spacing is used for creating space between the table and cells. I hope this is clear to all of you. And another thing we are having here is border and background. Background we have already seen, and we have applied background to our table. So now we are going to see the border. So we can also apply border to our table. So just let me write border and border is 2px or 4px. Let me refresh the page and you will see the border applied to our table. So this is very easy, it's not difficult, but we should pay attention on this. I think we have covered the tables chapter. The table element is used to add tables to a web page. A table is drawn out row by row. Each row is created with the tr element. We have already seen that. Inside each row there are number of cells represented by the td element. We have already learned that you can make cells of table span more than one row or columns using the row span and column span attribute. We have already learned that and see that how it works. For long table, you can split the table into T head, T body, and T foot. We have already seen all these things, so I hope everything will be clear to all of you. But if you have any query, any question, so you can ask in the comment box and we will be there to help you. So subscribe to my channel for next video. If you have any question and you want me to explain anything, so I'm here for you, so feel free to contact us. Thank you for watching the video. See you in next lesson.